What's going on? Thanks for checking out my next video on how to draw poses. And this time we're going to be drawing fighting dynamic poses. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't. Now for these poses, I chose a lot of dynamic fighting poses from the app Figurosity, and I have links below if you want to check that out. And I chose different poses where there's some that's doing kicks, some that's doing little superhero poses, and to kind of get that action feel to putting out a good pose when you're doing a scene or whatever you're using the pose for. And right now I'm showing how I just use shapes to form the pose, as far as making the circles for the head and circles for the shoulders, circles for the elbows, and then squares for the hands. And these circle placements are kind of a way of showing and measuring where to put each of the pieces of the body parts at. Where I have a circle for where the leg is, and I'm putting a cylinder for the other leg, and putting a circle for the knee. And it's kind of a way of filling it out and forming that pose that you want. It's kind of an easy way to just get that right measurement, to knowing where to place the things when you're watching, looking at the pose or drawing from it. Now for this one, I chose kind of a heroic pose, kind of a pose that you would use for like Spider-Man or something like that. And right now I'm forming in the head, and I always put that line, the center line for the head, to show where the head is being tilted, because it's kind of a way of, sometimes you may, you can draw without the line, and sometimes you may have to put the line there just to show the head tilting, so you know that the head is tilting that direction. Because sometimes you'll have a line in the center and you try to tilt the head drawing it, but then it'll kind of throw you off a little bit. So that's why sometimes I'll tilt that line so you know that the head is being tilted. And I'm adding the circle for where the shoulder is. I'm kind of making that basic like half cylinder chest area, and then space it before you get to the lower area, or lower waist area. And the more you do these poses, I call it like the wooden dummy figures, and the more you practice putting those together, the easier it is to put the shapes together to make that pose you want. Right now I'm just adding those circles, and sometimes you can put the circles there before you put the cylinder, so you'll know how far the leg is going to go, depending on the type of pose you're going to do. Now for this one, the leg it's not really foreshortened, but sometimes when the leg is a little foreshortened, when you put that circle, you can kind of have the line go around it to kind of give that foreshortened illusion. And this one, the hand is going back, so the farther the hand goes back, the more far out in perspective it is, and the more far out in perspective it gets, the smaller it gets. So that's why I shortened it. Now here's a different pose, crouch down, and the head is pointing to the side, so making sure I get that head first, drawing a circle, 2 lines for the eyes, then that front line to indicate where the face is going to be, and the cylinder for the neck. Now making that round half, kind of half of the bean shape. I'll put that center line in so you know where the chest is, where the neck is going to be. Circle for the shoulders, and the box for the waist area. But since the body is crouched down, you're not really going to see the box that much, because it's crouched in. So I'm getting that arm. So put a circle for where the elbow is going to be. That way I know where to put that arm or that forearm. Circle for where the leg is. Now this leg is foreshortened, so when this leg is foreshortened, the back part of the leg will be bigger, and then the part where the knee is will be smaller, and then you just kind of wrap it around with the lines to get that foreshortened look to it. That way when you start detailing it and adding more detail to it, you'll know exactly how to place everything, because you know how it's foreshortened. Adding in that other leg in, circle for the knee, other cylinder for the other part of the leg, the calf muscle. Now getting in the feet. And it's kind of a good practice to just practice drawing different figures this way and do it a lot. And then the more you get the figures down, drawing it in this particular way, then it'll be easier to just start. It'll stick in your head. Then you'll just draw figures without having to do construction lines. But this is probably one of the best ways to practice. Just finding shapes and figures, and then going off of that. Right now I'm just darkening lines, adding a little more detail. Now for this next one, it has a lot more foreshortening in it, especially for the arm and for the leg and for the hand and the back. So right now I'm starting with the head as usual, getting those lines in, the triangle shape, using that method that I explained in my last video. Getting in the cylinder for the neck, getting that half being shaped for the upper chest, and for the waist I'll be adding in the square shape. Now you get a square shape for the waist, or you can add the other half of the bean shape for the waist. Sometimes I like to do the square shape because it kind of helps with the perspective a little bit, but you can go either way. Now right now I'm doing the hand and foreshortened, and doing that you just have the cylinder go down, add the circle, and then just have that those next two lines go off that circle, and you automatically have it in perspective right there, or foreshortened, and it'd be easier to add details on top of those constructed lines. I'm adding the hand in the back. I'm adding the waist area. Circle for the leg. A smaller circle for the knee. And I'm making those two lines off that circle to help the foreshortening. And for the foot, a cylinder for the other side, and a circle for the knee, and another cylinder for the calves. And just keep practicing making these wooden dummy shapes for each of your models when you're using reference, and you should be good to go. Just keep on practicing. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button, and also subscribe if you haven't. All right, take care.